And it's funny because I told my husband I wanted to make this YouTube video about why I left the gospel music industry, because I left and I'm never coming back. And it was like, it's a 45-minute video that I am just debating on posting, because I mean, it's not meant to be inflammatory. This is no shade to anybody or any, entity or any, business. But in reality, like, it's not just the gospel music industry, it's the music industry. And I thought, silly me as a kid, that the gospel music industry was different. That it was just like, basically like, big church. Like, it's basically just big church. And when in reality, oh man, that's not the I mean, it is the truth. It is just big church. But if you grew up in church and you worked in church and you were behind the scenes in church and you saw all the politicking that goes on in a lot of churches, you would understand why taking that into a business format and trying to push it out to the world like it's giving Jesus when it's not. Oh, it's not good. It's not good. It's not a good place to be in. It's not a good place to be. You just don't want to be there. And so, but my experience, I will say, working with large corporations that say that they're about pushing the gospel, when in reality they're about fattening their pockets and screwing over artists who don't know any better. It definitely let me know that in the grand scheme of things, it has the word gospel in it, but it really is just the music industry. If we're not talking about Jesus and he's not the main thing, we make songs with scripture, we make songs that sound good, that are inspirational, but if the gospel is not at the root of these things, it really has nothing to do with Jesus' gospel. It's just crazy. Like, they operate the same. It's the same. That's all the same thing. Two wings of the same bird. Yes. Oh my gosh. Pastors used to have jobs. Pastors used to have jobs. Now they mad because you won't give enough tithe. Like, come on now. That's crazy. I love you too, Simone. And I'm just saying, if you are going to be an artist and you're going to steward your gift, the only reason I felt even convicted, to kind of pack up my things and leave the industry is because the gift I have is not something I gave to myself. This is something that is God's. It's God's business. This is his gift. This is his everything. And I felt like if I was letting people take advantage of me, for money, I was really not doing right by the gift God gave me. I'd much rather use my gift to make the music that God has given me and just put it out and not really care about how well it does, rather than put it in somebody else's hands and let them prostitute me for it. Like, I started to not be okay with that. Now, when I was a kid and I didn't know any better, then, like, I think that there was more grace. But now that I'm an adult and I see kind of how things work, I'm very wary about who I work with. I'm very wary about who I'm seen with. I'm just very wary about the things that I do, because I used to think that not being busy, not being booked all the time meant I was doing something wrong. When in reality, the reality is, when you're in God's will, he gonna have you all booked up in places that he's not. He don't even want you in them places where it's popular to be there and it looks good, but he's not there. And so I used to think that if I wasn't busy, I wasn't doing what was right. When in reality, God ain't gonna have you everywhere. He's very selective. He's not gonna send you out everywhere. He's not gonna let what he's using your gift to do be just seen anywhere and doing anything. And I had to become a lot more wary about who I trusted with my gift and like the places that I even lended my gift to. And so now that I'm an adult, it's a lot of places I will not go. There are a lot of places I will not go. There are a lot of things I will not do. There are a lot of songs I won't sing publicly. I just won't sing them. Because it doesn't glorify God in the way that I want it to. And I'm still young. I'm still in my 20s. I have a lot to learn. I'm not saying I just have the formula, but as I've grown, this is just what I've learned so far. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being a little too stuck up because it's fresh for me. But I'm going to be honest. There are a lot of places I just don't feel like God has called me to, where other people would say like, oh, this would be a good look for you or a good idea for you. And like, yeah, of course you think that because, you know, you make some money off it or it will benefit you in some way. But in reality, like, I'm done being used by people. I'm done being used by people, for sure. I don't care who you are. I'm done being used by people. And it's crazy because I think my feelings were hurt for a long time because people will act like they love you and they want what's best for you when they're just trying to use you. And that right there, that hurt. It hurt. It hurt for a long time. It hurt me for a long time. But now that I'm like kind of over it and I'm like grown, I can see things from an adult lens. I don't know, they say your frontal lobe develops after you turn 25. I guess this is my frontal lobe developing. And the Lord has just been, I mean, hey, this ain't for you, and I haven't called you here, and don't go here, and nah, that's not for you, and these people aren't for you, and this person isn't for you, and I'm like, dang, this is all, like, very sudden, but I'm so grateful for it. The direction that God has taken my life, even recently, like, pulling me away from the things I thought the things I thought made me. The people I thought made me, you know, God has just exposed like, oh no, I'm the end all be all. I made you. And if I say, then that's what really matters. So, woo! Oh, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be an artist, an independent artist, you're going to have to fund your life. You're going to have to fund your endeavors. You're gonna have to fund your music because if you let other people get their hands on your stuff, they're gonna do some stuff that it never should have did. They're gonna do some stuff with it that's not you. Like, you can't let somebody else have a vision for you, because if somebody else has a vision for you and they got the capital to put behind it, they're gonna have you doing some things that God never intended for you. I remember a guy wanted to work with me, and I thought that it was really lucrative because he came from a really big label. And I'm thinking like, oh, God, this is so cool. Like, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. He started saying like, oh, we're going to have to change up your image a little bit. We need you to be a little more like sultry, sexy gospel. I was like, oh, no, you lost me. Oh, you lost me there. Oh, you lost me there. Oh, you lost me there. Don't get me wrong, God gives us a bunch of tools to fish with, but I don't think that me trying to seduce the people to Christ is that don't even go together. That don't even make no sense. Like, that is crazy to me. That was crazy to me. That was the first and last time I ever spoke to this man ever, because like he had to like ease his way into saying this to me. He was like, yeah, I love your sound. It gives very modern, like gospel R&B, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, I kind of already don't like where this is going. Because most times when people say gospel R&B, they're not talking about, oh, this sounds like R&B, but it's very obviously gospel, so it can appeal to multiple people. They're talking about, oh, this is so ambiguous that it could be R&B. Nobody would ever know it's about Jesus. And we like that because then we can act like you're like, you do both. I don't do both. I don't do both. Actually. I actually don't do both, actually. I just do gospel. That's it. I actually don't do both. No. I just do one. Only one. And I've had so many people try and tell me, like, your voice is better suited towards R&B. Says who? Who are you? Who are you to say that? Like, who are you? You know? It was just nuts to me, though. And there have been so many seemingly lucrative opportunities that I have passed up on because, again, people will try to use you just so they can make a quick buck. And if you follow them thinking that, oh, this is going to be so lucrative for me, and you're not thinking spiritually, you're just thinking, you know, oh, this could change my life, like monetarily, because they're promising you some big numbers or whatever they're promising you that's appealing to your flesh and not your spirit. Your spirit is probably telling you like, girl, but you can't hear the still small voice because your flesh is like, oh yeah, this big label wants to work with me. I must be that girl. It's speaking to your ego. It's hyping you up. In reality, once they've used you up and you've got nothing out of the deal except getting used up and looking a fool and doing something God never told you to do, now you got to start back from the drawing board all over again. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I'm not doing that no more. all I'm saying is, I don't want to be nobody's Beyonce. I don't want to be nobody's nothing. Okay, when I make music, I don't even want people to think about me. I want people to be thrown into the throne room, thrown at the feet of Jesus. I want people to be picturing and to be able to visualize what I'm talking about, being at the feet of Jesus. Being nothing compared to God. That's what I want people to start thinking about when they hear my music. I don't want them to think, ooh, I was just this or that. Don't even, I want people to be like, I don't even care about who this is. I want to know who the song is talking about. That's the type of music I want to make. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of music I do make and haven't released yet because, like I said, I would leak it, but I'm not going to do my producer and engineer like that because they work hard. I'm not going to do them like that. But that's all I'm saying is people want you to lead with your image. They want you to lead with your you. You know, they want you to appeal to people's flesh. If we're making gospel music, why do you want me to appeal to people's flesh? I want to prick people's hearts. You know what I'm saying? I want to do all that other stuff that y'all like to do. I ain't trying to get no boyfriend. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm not trying to do that. And this is what they want you to do. And so I remember, I just have so many stories I could tell. I remember we used to do media training. And they used to tell us, we have to have a certain image. We have to maintain a certain image, maintain a certain weight. You know, they used to say all types of crazy stuff to us. And this is when we were kids. So we was thinking, this is what it's supposed to be. We had so many orders as just kids, dude. I be thinking about this. I was a whole kid with a full-time job from 10 years old to now. I have never not had the responsibility of having a grown-up job as a kid. And now that I'm an adult and I have the free will to do what I want, I realize, bruh, I never wanted this. I never did. I never wanted the glitz and glamour and the fame, because I'm telling you, bruh, fame, it's just, all it is invasive. And people just constantly feeling like they have the right to invade your privacy because they're parasocially connected to you. And so it's that coupled with the fact that now financially there's so much responsibility on you as a kid, and then on top of that you have to tour, you have to do press conference, you got to do there's just so much you have to do. Oh my goodness, woo, it was so much. Golly, it was so much. When I look back on it, I'm grateful because I was doing it with my siblings. I love them boys.
Tell us what you think in the comment section.